Good day, everyone. Hope you're doing well today. We have an article from ScreenRant.com, and it's titled, Every Ship in Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker's Final Battle. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing to the channel. Helps out a lot, lets me know I'm doing a good job. But let's get into this. The final trailer for Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, featured a stunning scene in which the Millennium Falcon joined the Resistance fleet. And here's your guide to all the vessels shown in that shot. The trilogy of trilogies is coming to an end, with Emperor Palpatine returning with a secret fleet of Star Destroyers modified with Death Star technology. Fortunately for the galaxy, he will not go unopposed. The Resistance was decimated in Star Wars The Last Jedi, but General Leia Organa has spent the last year rebuilding her forces. Official tie-in novels have already revealed that she scattered Resistance operatives across the galaxy in order to establish a network of Resistance cells. They've been recruited by new allies to their cause, and each cell has also tasked with building up its own small fleet. As a result, the new Resistance Armada is a strange mix with a lot of old technology and very familiar vessels. There are still the usual Mon Calamari cruisers scattered among their numbers. Those have always been a staple of the Rebellion, Alliance, and the Resistance, but they're now working alongside a lot of desperate ships. So, what kind of ships? Well, naturally, so-called fleet junkies, such as Steven Sankey, have been poring over the shot from the final Star Wars 9 trailer. Ignoring the customary Mon Calamari cruisers, here's your guide to all the different ships that have been identified in what is presumably the Star Wars 9's final battle. First, we'll take a look at specific identifiable ships and then move on to vessels with different eras. So, we got first the Millennium Falcon, of course. The most famous hunk of junk in the galaxy, the Millennium Falcon, has essentially become the Resistance flagship. It's a Corellian YT-1300 freighter that has been heavily modified over the decades, with illegal military-grade AIs, engines, and weapons, meaning this is one ship that can pack a punch. It's unclear who will be piloting the Millennium Falcon during this climatic battle. Trailers are made to mislead, and it's been shown piloted by Poe, Rey, and even Lando Calrissian. There would be an appropriate irony if Lando were the pilot, given he flew the Falcon during the Battle of Endor and Return of the Jedi as well. The Ghost. A modified VCX-100 light freighter, the Ghost became the home of Hera Syndulla's Rebel Cell in Star Wars Rebels. Although it's an old ship, the Ghost has always been reliable, and has served on the front lines of the Galactic Civil War. This is the first time it's been shown as still active in the Age of the Resistance, and its presence raises the possibility that Hera Syndulla has returned to action to fight alongside Leia Organa once again. The Crucible, an ancient vessel that was believed to date back over 1,000 years. The Crucible was used by the Jedi Order to transport Padawans. It was shot down during the Clone Wars, but its wreckage was salvaged by Hondo Ohnaka. The Crucible's presence may hint the galaxy's underworld have sided with the Resistance, and that Hondo himself has taken a side in this conflict. That would be interesting. Shadowcaster. Eagle-eyed Star Wars fans have pointed out to what seems to be the Shadowcaster, another ship from Star Wars Rebels. This was a Lancer-class pursuit craft used by the bounty hunter Ketsu Ono. It's fast and powerful, and heavily armed. If this is the Shadowcaster, then it's been modified a little, because the outline is a little different. The Iravana. The Millennium Falcon may be Han Solo's most famous ship, but another of his vessels is visible in the Star Wars 9 trailer as well. The Iravana was a Baleen-class bulk frigate that Han and Chewbacca flew after they'd lost the Falcon, as seen in Star Wars The Force Awakens. The massive ship's bow section is dominated by a forward hull that doubles as a docking bay. Han and Chewie abandoned the Iravana to the Guvin Death Gang, but it seems to have found its way to the Resistance. The Outrider. The Outrider is a Corellian YT-2400, and in the old expanded universe, it was flown by renowned smuggler Dash Render, who insisted that his vessel was almost as famous as the Millennium Falcon. The ship was created for the multimedia project Shadow of the Empire, and it was incorporated into the 1997 special edition of A New Hope. This is the first time it's ever actually appeared on the big screen. It's probably just an Easter egg, but it would be fascinating to get a sense of what the Outrider is really capable of. The Colossus. This one's a little debatable, but on close examination it certainly looks as the Colossus, prominently featured in Star Wars Resistance, is part of the final battle as well. The Colossus was introduced as an aircraft refueling station on the ocean planet Castellian on the Outer Rim, and was home to the skilled pilots of Ace Squadron. It was occupied by the First Order shortly before the events of Star Wars The Force Awakens, but was liberated, and its secret engines and hyperdrives were triggered to take it into space. It would make sense for the Colossus to join the fight, and this may well mean Ace Squadron are on hand too. Star Wars vessels from the Age of the Republic. Star Wars 9 is the end of the trilogy of trilogies, and as a result, it's no surprise that Lucasfilm is carefully trying to tie the franchise together. There are a surprising number of prequel-era vessels in Star Wars 9 trailer, perhaps indicating just how desperate the Resistance has become. Consular-class cruiser. This vessel was used before the Clone Wars to transport diplomats and Jedi Knights to hotspots. Although they were traditionally unarmed, during the Clone Wars, a number of these were modified for military service, with turbo laser batteries and troop transport facilities. The Vetnor class Star Destroyer. These vessels served on the front lines of the Clone Wars, and were popularly referred to as Jedi cruisers, because a large number of Jedi generals took them as their command ships. Early Vetnors featured a large amount of hangar space, but towards the end of the Clone Wars, a number of ships were refitted with additional armaments. The Lucrehulk droid control ship. Used by the Trade Federation and the Separatist Navy, Lucrehulks were equipped with an army of 1,500 Vulture droids, 50 C-99-79 Landicraft, 550 multi-troop transports, 6,250 armored assault tanks, and 1,500 platoon attack craft. The Trade Federation used Lucrehulk to blockade and occupy Naboo in Star Wars Episode I, The Phantom Menace, and it was destroyed by Anakin Skywalker. It's doubtful this Lucrehulk was a full complement, but its presence certainly raises the possibility that the Resistance have battle droids supporting their numbers. That's kind of interesting, actually. The Pelta-class frigate. Developed during the Clone Wars, the Pelta-class frigates were typically used by the Old Republic to ferry injured clone troopers to medical stations for treatment. A handful were refitted with turbo lasers during the Galactic Civil War. Star Wars vessels from the Age of the Rebellion. It's no surprise to see a large number of Rebellion-era vessels in Star Wars 9 trailer. The Resistance is largely led by the same people who commanded the Old Republic Alliance, and they're logically going to approve tried and tested equipment. The U-Wing. There appears to be a U-Wing on screen in the Star Wars 9 trailer, which marks the first time this ship has made its way into the main saga. Viewers were introduced to the U-Wing in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, where it was featured prominently. The Bunker Buster. Developed during the Galactic Civil War, the Bunker Buster is designed to bombard heavily fortified bases. The ships are also equipped with plasma bombs, turbo laser turrets, and a complement of bomber craft that can dock on its reinforced pylons. Vice Admiral Holdo commanded one prominent bunker buster, the Ninaka, which was destroyed when it ran out of fuel in Star Wars The Last Jedi. The Nebula-class frigate. Originally designed for the Imperial fleet, the Nebula-class frigate is designed to complement large-scale military action. The Rebel Alliance repurposed a number of Nebula-class frigates as medical cruisers. Star Wars vessels from the Age of the Resistance. Finally, there are some newer ships in the Star Wars 9 trailer, notably including two types of ships that were first seen in Star Wars The Last Jedi. It'll be interesting to see if some of these new frigates, fighters, and bombers get added into the mix as well. Resistance Bomber. The Star Fortress SF-17, otherwise known as the Resistance Bomber, was featured in the opening scenes of Star Wars The Last Jedi. The ships are slow but dangerous, requiring a starfighter escort to keep TIE fighters off their back in order to drop their payload of proton bombs. The Vekbor class frigate. Developed by Kuwait Drive Yards after the fall of the Empire, Vekbor class frigate was originally envisioned as a tough freighter able to repel pirate attacks. Ironically, it became popular with pirates, and the Resistance liberated a number of Vekbor prior to Star Wars The Force Awakens. One was used during the evacuation of Dakar in Star Wars The Last Jedi. So, there we have that. What ship are you looking forward to in The Rise of Skywalker? Myself, I'm really looking forward to, the Millennium Falcon, obviously, but I really would love to see the Ghost in this. I think that'll be fun and cool. Hopefully we get a lot of shots about that, although I'm thinking that it's just going to be kind of like a passerby and you don't get to see who's really in it, but I'm really looking forward to the Ghost. Of course, the Millennium Falcon also. But let me know what you think about all these ships, and let me know your favorite ship in the Star Wars universe. Thanks for watching. As always, take care and have an awesome day.